Let's be real for a second. If you're a creator, the playbook you've been using is probably obsolete. Seriously. The old rules for building a business online, they've completely changed. What worked just a couple of years ago is now a surefire path to burnout. So in this explainer, we're going to tear up that old playbook and show you the new one for how to actually win in 2026.
Let's just talk about the size of the prize here. By 2026, the creator economy is projected to be worth over $234 billion. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's bigger than the entire economy of some countries. This isn't some niche hobby anymore, it's a massive global economic force.
And yeah, you're not alone in this. There are more than 207 million other creators out there all trying to get a piece of that pie. So while the opportunity is huge, the competition is, well, it's deafening. To stand out, you have to be smart and understand where the real money is actually flowing.
And this right here, this is the single biggest change happening. A massive 67% of creators who are actually making a living aren't just relying on ads and sponsorships anymore. Nope, 2/3 of them are selling their own digital products. This isn't just a trend, you guys. This is the new foundation for success.
You could almost think of it like a new gold rush. There's an absolute fortune out there. But here's the catch. The old maps, the ones that told you to chase views and brand deals, they're totally useless now. They just don't lead to the treasure anymore. You're going to need a new map.
But before we get to the map, we have to talk about the huge problem that pretty much every creator is facing. It's what we call the fragmentation problem. That old way of doing things, stitching together a dozen different apps, a dozen different platforms, it's just broken. It's slow, it's expensive, and honestly, it's really, really risky.
This quote from the creator platform BTS just hits the nail on the head. You're spending more time trying to be an IT manager for your own business than actually creating value. You've got one tool for your courses, another for your email list, a third for payments, and none of them talk to each other. It's a total mess.
All this chaos, it adds up, and it creates what you can call a fragmentation tax. You're paying it with your time, trying to make all these different pieces work together. You're paying it in money, with all those monthly subscriptions. And worst of all, you're paying it in missed opportunities, because you're stuck dealing with logistics instead of growth.
And this whole thing leads to an even bigger, kind of scarier question. It's not just about wasting time and money. When we start relying on all these different tools, especially AI, you have to ask who actually owns the stuff you make. The answer? Well, it's getting really complicated.
So here's the bottom line. Our intellectual property laws were written for humans. They're all about human creativity. And courts have been pretty clear that things that aren't human, whether it's an animal or an AI, can't hold a copyright. What does that mean for you? It means if you're building your business on work that's purely AI generated, you might be building on land you don't actually own. It's a huge, unresolved risk.
Okay, so that's the big, scary problem. But what's the solution? It's all about a massive mental shift. We call it the ownership playbook. And the core idea is actually really simple. Stop renting. Stop renting your audience from social media and stop renting your business from a dozen different apps. It's time to own your own infrastructure. And when you look at it side by side, the difference is just night and day. The old way? You're chasing empty metrics like views and likes, depending on unpredictable ad revenue, all on platforms you don't control. The new model? You're focused on real business numbers like revenue and customer lifetime value, funded by our own products, and built on a foundation that you actually own.
And if you need a financial reason to make this shift, look at this. The profit margins on digital products are just insane. We're talking 70, 80, sometimes 90%. Compare that to physical products, where you're lucky to get 30%. You build it once, and you can sell it forever. The math is just undeniable.
To really step into this new world, you got to change your job title. You're not just a content creator anymore. Think of yourself as a solution architect. So you're not selling content. That's basically free now. You're designing and selling very specific solutions to very specific problems for a well-defined audience.
So you might be thinking, okay, solution architect sounds cool, but how do I actually do that? Great question. This is where we get into the practical stuff, your new toolkit, and how you can use AI to really execute this whole ownership playbook.
Here's the 4-step process. First, you find a tiny, nagging micro problem for a specific group of people. Second, you pick a format that gives them a quick, valuable win. Third, you use AI to build a rough draft, a prototype, super fast. And fourth, and this is the most important part, you add your human moat. That's your unique spin, your personal stories, your expertise, the stuff AI can't touch.
So what are these solutions we're talking about? Forget all the hype. The stuff that's actually selling right now is incredibly practical. We're talking about Notion templates that save people hours, little automation tools for freelancers, checklists for super niche industries, or even done-for-you systems that people will gladly pay for.
Now let's talk about a really powerful strategy that AI makes possible: faceless marketing. This is all about building a huge brand without ever having to be on camera. You can use AI voices, AI visuals, and animations to scale your content like crazy, protect your privacy, and make your message, not your personality, the star of the show.
All right, here's a pro tip that'll instantly make your AI results 10 times better. It's called the persona pattern. Instead of just asking the AI to write an email, you tell it who to be. You say, you are a world-class copywriter who specializes in luxury brands, or you are a veteran software engineer explaining a complex topic to a beginner. That one little shift changes everything.
So all of this leads to a really fundamental choice. This isn't just a prediction about the future. It's a decision that every single creator is going to have to make, and probably sooner than you think. Are you going to be an architect or an automaton?
Because the truth is, the middle ground is vanishing. It's just disappearing. You can't be a serious creator trying to run a real business on a patchwork of amateur tools anymore. The market is splitting. You have professional creator entrepreneurs on one side and hobbyists on the other. You've got to choose a side.
So I'll just leave you with this final question to think about. In this new world where AI can create infinite content, your value isn't in the thing you make anymore, it's in the system you design. So, will you be the architect who builds the machine that solves the problem, or will you just become another automated cog inside someone else's machine? The choice is yours.